As the 2017 West Virginia legislative session enters its final month, majority leadership in the West Virginia Senate and the West Virginia House rolled out a modified state budget proposal during a March 13th news conference at the state capitol. Senate President Mitch Carmichael and House Speaker Tim Armstead outlined more than $277 million in budget measures they've identified to make up the difference between projected revenues and the proposed budget from Governor Jim Justice of $4.505 billion. In their proposal, the legislative leaders say they're committed to having a final budget document prior to the end of the 60-day session that will not exceed revenue estimates of about $4 billion.
I know everyone talks about the context of a $500 million deficit. What we're looking at is the budget that was submitted was $300 million, over $320 million more than what we are spending in the current fiscal year. So we want to go back and see, try to keep our budget as much as we can at the level that we're spending in the current fiscal year, and perhaps be able to reduce particular areas of that, but not grow those areas. Because I think, like every household who has to cut back on their budget, they don't look at spending more, they look at ways to come back and find ways that they can economize and do things more efficiently, and that's what we're doing. The budget session we had last year gave us a preview, so to speak, of what we needed to do. And we kind of had waited on some areas to see what the governor's proposals would be. Some of those proposals we're talking about. Some were met with some skepticism, quite frankly, in the legislature. So we're trying to look at alternatives for those issues and to work with the governor to reach an agreement on this budget. So I don't anticipate we'll be here beyond the regular session, or maybe that extended week that we sometimes go after the session, which we do each year. But I don't anticipate being here in the summer.
Today's a new day. Thank you. This is a day in which this legislature is leading the charge on restraining and controlling the growth of government and delivering for the people of West Virginia the responsible, dramatic budget that is called upon to live within our means.
We want to change the direction of West Virginia in this 83rd West Virginia legislature. We are tired of coming in here and watching legislatures throughout the years come in here, just try to balance that year's budget and figure out how much they can cut and save and all this. We want to change the direction of West Virginia and get us back on a path of growth and prosperity.
In the West Virginia House of Delegates, legislation has advanced to streamline state regulations to allow nurses the ability to practice across state lines. House Bill 2522, the Nurse Licensure Compact Bill, was approved on a 100-0 vote in the House on March 16th and now moves to the West Virginia Senate for consideration. AARP West Virginia State Director Gaylene Miller spoke in support of the bill at a House public hearing on March 10th.
House Bill 2522 enhances patient safety, streamlines regulations, and allows nurses the ability to practice across state lines. This legislation is a no-cost, common-sense solution that ensures patients have access to care and allows them to remain at home and out of costly taxpayer-funded institutions. We have a 100-year-old licensure model that needs to be updated, and this compact offers an innovative approach that is safe and in lockstep with 21st century healthcare.
For the latest updates from the state capitol, follow us on Facebook at AARP West Virginia, on Twitter at AARP WV, and online at aarp.org/WV. For AARP West Virginia, I'm Tom Hunter.